Well, it's the next day now. Seems like I've brought the Waikato weather home with me. Not ideal, but time to put in some work. I'll go through the setup we've got out here some other time, but pressing matters aren't. Got to see if this guy here is going to fit on the back of that, or if we're going to have to do some narrowing. Right, let's get this thing uncovered and spin around and I guess one of the questions right now is, why am I doing this? Well, the car currently has a Vertex copy on it, and whilst that looks good, great for street driving, I'm trying to get to the track again, and it's kind of like a little bit of a barn find restoration, kind of getting something back on track after a long hiatus. Now, the last time I actually entered a track day was about 8 years ago. Been doing little bits and pieces in between, a session here, session there, just through those days when I was doing the instructing. But I'm wanting to enter an event again. And the last event I entered, I had the BN on. I only had the front and I only had the sides. And I had a final connection at the time. I had final connection rear. I want to do this properly. So that means fitting the rear and seeing if it'll fit a stock-bodied Sylvia or if I'm going to have to narrow it. Now, I know this is a bit crazy and, why would you go and do it? But I'm going to throw in the photos here of what it looked like when I actually had the front and the sides on it. Even with the 17s, it looked killer. So I'm wanting to do the whole shebang. And there's other stuff that's going to happen too, but let's just focus on this. Let's just see if it'll fit. The other thing we need to do is swap on to the twin 3.5-inch tips as well. So that big apexy muffler, it's too quiet. So for the track, we're going to let it bark. So time to pull off this rear Vertex rear and see how we get on. Yeah, she got a bit melty. So that would have been probably a result of these things over here. So I've got a 3-inch V-band, so I can swap between the two. I'd imagine it was that. I can't imagine that maybe the muffler actually probably got a bit hot too. Might have to do a bit of trimming there, but might have to retape that foam back in place. And test fit the big one. I think we might have a winner here. No narrowing needed. That one really doesn't want to stay on, but to get this to sit with the current fitment, I'm going to have to play with the bottom mounts anyway. Just how it ties in. But stoked, no fiberglassing in my near future. That's a massive result for me because I'm going to be a bit pushed for time, as well as my good friend who's going to be doing the painting. So I've given this one a bit of a light scuff already. It should be reasonably okay to shoot. I've actually got the factory paint, the silver over gunmetal, in tins ready to go, thinners, the whole shebang. So yeah, I think for me now is just to make sure I can mount it. So it's getting those mounts there done on the inside of the guard. So, and getting it to sit how I want to. So for that, I'm probably going to chuck on the side skirts as well, because then I can just better eyeball that. Yeah. Oh, and while I remember, those wheels are coming off too, because they're getting a birthday. So might be sticking those ones on it for now. I think 21540s on there, so it might look a bit funky because at the moment it's 21545s on the front. But there's 21545s on that, and we can space them out if we need to do any kind of officialing. But either way, I mean, if I've got it up in the air, I might as well start ripping those off as well. So I think that's worked out really nicely. As we can see, just as we peek around the corner there, the bottom edge of the kit, both the rear and the side skirts, just tuck inside the outer edge of the lip of the tries. So these are spaced, they're plus 38s, 17 by 9s, but they're spaced, what is it, 23 mil. So it's 9s at plus 15. Now, so I've fitted the side skirts just to try and line up those bottom edges, and I think I did pretty well. This one could tuck in a little bit on the side skirt. It just sits about 5 mil proud, maybe 10. So I could just tweak that by sort of just bringing the bottom mount. So I guess that's probably the next part that I'll get into as well. But first of all, I did notice that these side skirts sit quite high. So I've made marks on the top of all of it. Again, apologies for the sniffs, hay fever season. To just trim a bit off the top. Just so it matches up with the existing stripes, because those are all factory stripes on the sides here. The rear's going to be an interesting one too, because actually this sits so far up, I'm like, well, I need to put a black stripe. The bumper's black. So do I just ask that the stripe that goes around the back is just masked off and is retained, and we just polish up that scuffing? And then we don't actually have to run a piece of like vinyl. But goddamn, even at a higher ride height in the front, or at least running a 215/45 in the front, that is sitting spot on. Now the B in front is actually sitting just on the ground to be fitted on the front as well, but I'm running out of time at the moment, guys, so yeah, gonna have to pull those fronts off, stick those puppies on. So I've got them ready for refresh. Oh, and this is my mounting. So I got given a pack of these things ages ago, and they are like about a 6 or 8 mil wide cable tie that is reusable. So you push that tab down, it comes undone. That's my quick release setup. So yeah, if I hit something, if I hit something small, it'll stay on. But if I hit something big, that should release and pop off, and yeah, that can at least potentially be saved. But side skirts, however, I have spares. Body kits, everyone sort of says these days, you run low body kits, they are consumable items. So again, and I run like a 2-hole system as well, because then you can actually adjust the in out depending on where the hole is, so lining it up. And also if you do 1 point, then it can flop at the bottom as well. So if you've got 2 points, wrap it through, works. Right, so the front needs a little bit of work. Now, I'm pretty sure I remember pushing the bottom of the front of this guard out to actually kind of fill that blank, because you can see there is a bit of a gap there. There's a bit of a gap there, so by pushing the bottom out, it helps fill that a little bit. But the issue we're going to have is the front offsets. I'm pretty sure when I was running this, I had 25mm bolt-on spacers in behind these. Now I've only got like a 5mm slip-on. So now comes a conundrum. What I currently have with this is an experiment that I did a long time ago, where I rotated the top hats to get more traction on lock. So the wheel didn't roll over into positive camber as much, especially for the lead wheel, I think it was. The lead wheel, which had the most grip on it. So I managed to flatten it out, which was great, but as a result, I lose a lot of camber adjustment at the top there. So it will take a little bit of fizzling, but nothing that is out of the ordinary. Anyway, happy with that. Looks amazing, looks how I remembered. Looks even better now because, hey, last time we didn't have the D-Max roof wing. We didn't have the beautiful Origin bonnet. Yeah, didn't have the big chunky rear, which, man, it really does tie this kit together nicely. So with a bit more offset in the front, putting on some bolt-on spacers. Oh, yeah, excuse that, that's cat. Yeah, we should be on fire. Oh, and I guess this is a good time to go through the damage that happened at said event 8 years ago. So someone managed to go through the dipper on track 2 reverse. Someone, Mr. McChesney, hi Ollie if you're watching this, and cracked his sump. And it was one of those SR winged sumps, and yeah, one of the wings cracked off and was sitting in the apex on that corner. And I came through, it was just off the apex because it was a right-hander. So, and I collected it, smashed this, all broke all the way through here and in and around under here as well. And it's got a few cracks and everything, but that's all been glassed on the other side. So that's just my horrific attempt at trying to bodywork, which I should be not allowed to do. Now, this time around as well, we've got the battle mode grill in, and I'm going to chuck some crystal indicators, bumper indicators in too. So this is going to be really exciting for me, because everything that I've done to the car since that event has been around getting this to be a really nice kind of hybrid vehicle. I can take it to a car show, I could take it to an event. Anyway, I'll get into that later. But it's all going to come together, fingers crossed, for this. But just how cool is that? It's It's like melting into the ground. Oh, I love this kit. Bit of an arch gap there, thanks to the old 21540s. But that'll do for today. I'll pop the rear bumper off when I'm going to go deliver it, and I'll have to pop out the lights here and the oil cooler scoop off that as well, but otherwise, good bit of work. Time to go back to reality, earn some money. Yeah, that was a fun morning. And look, weather's turned around for me too. All right, catch you later.